Did you know that 2/3 of mergers and acquisitions fail? Not because of the numbers, but because companies fail to take into account how do you combine and integrate disparate cultures when you're making acquisitions and have them well integrated, playing in the same manner, being cohesive, being collaborative. This was the work of Edgar Schein, who recently passed, which is sad because he was very instrumental in the organizational development field. And thank goodness his son is carrying on his work today. And I have I love working with companies where there have been mergers and acquisitions and focusing on how to create cultures that are in alignment. What do you do when, have you thought about what do you do when you're combining somebody from a family owned company without a lot of professional education, perhaps, with companies who are larger, whose founders have lots of professional education? And what happens if they're in different niches? What happens if one is in marketing and advertising and a different company is in, I don't know, technology or sales? How do you get people on the same page? It's very critical to keep people engaged, to feel like they have a voice, to acknowledge their concerns. And it's really important, in my opinion, that this is done in the first year and a half, like hit the ground running as the acquisition or the merger is occurring, and having a strategy or plan in place from HR to carry this out so that everybody's rowing on the same page. And when this does not happen, I've noticed it can be very problematic because what happens or can happen is certain people it can check out. Certain founders can feel, if their voice isn't heard, that they're not important to the parent company or the holding company, that their voice isn't making a difference. And when that happens, people often get detached, disengaged, they get defensive, they get resistant, they don't want to play anymore. And you might imagine that creates a larger problem for the company's leadership, for executive leadership, for strategy. So, emotional intelligence is a perfect tool to use to help with this integration, to make sure that people's voices are heard. And I go back to my ACE. Remember an acronym for assertiveness, confidence, and empathy. In my opinion and experience, those three skills, a leader's ability to be warm and firm at the same time, those three skills are going to help create the new culture that everyone's a part of more than anything else. So assertiveness is used to create or negotiate a win-win from the different founders or the different parties. Empathy is used to say, we value your input, we value your opinion. Please tell us how you see this or what your perspective is or how you feel. And then acknowledging, okay, we hear you, we understand that. And sometimes we have to go in a different direction, even though we hear you and we understand that your point of view is valid. Here's why we have to change things up. Here's how it benefits everybody in the whole company, and in particular, how in the long run, if you play the long game instead of the short game, it's also going to be good for you and benefit you too. And confidence, of course, is beneficial to any leader. When a person is sure and certain and feels really good that they know where they excel, and they also know where they might fall short, what skills they're still developing, but they're on it, and they're in it and they're engaged, they are going to present themselves as more powerful, more empowered, as a strong leader, the person that people turn in the company turn to for reassurance and as a touch point. So keeping in mind those three skills, and then you could add in emotional expression, because the way we communicate information is also very important. So again, someone asked me today, how do I make sure I'm coming across as strong and confident and sure when it comes to my tone of voice, when it comes to my body language? How do I make eye contact even when I'm making announcements? If there's lots of people in the room, how do I do that? So keeping your emotional expression in the forefront of your mind will also help to create the culture, the new culture, get everybody on the same page, create collaboration, cohesiveness, get people excited. If you're excited when you deliver news, I guarantee you're going to have the capacity to draw more people in and to join your excitement and enthusiasm too. So remember, culture is important when you are doing mergers and acquisitions.